Well, good evening. Welcome to Modern Spiritualists Live. I'm Aeson, and with me tonight is the best British psychic in the world, Hazel Firefly. How are you, honey?
I'm fed up with this weather. We've been boiling for the last 2 weeks. Now we got floods.
Oh, floods.
It goes from one extreme to the other.
I'm telling you, you've got that this weekend. Well, this last week we had a storm from hell that knocked out my internet. Aeson hasn't been around for the weekend. We're just now getting ourselves back to combobulation. And I am like, okay, global warming, I get this. But can we stop naming it?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
do they do that over there?
They do.
It's like, when did this start?
We've always had, we have the hurricanes that come in, but we always get the tail end of them.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever they've been named elsewhere and they've moved to us, we still keep those names.
Right, that way it's easy to track. But no, it seems to me like ever since they started naming like the other storms, not just hurricanes, just storms in general,
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas, it's like they've doubled and tripled.
Thing is, to me, being from Wales, I'm used to bad storms. So a storm to me is just a natural thing.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, either, well, I know the US is, where you guys keep updating and doing things like, I don't know, building updating your trains and, updating your power grid and adding in better power options, and, the US hasn't. Like, green energy, y'all guys went green, what, in the 80s? Wasn't that under Margaret that, y'all guys started recycling and everything?
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of the houses in our area has solar panels on them.
Yeah. And your government came through and paid for that.
Some of them they did, but not all of them.
Yeah, but no, like we got a very, very bad lightning storm. It came through very quickly and took out trees and knocked us out um, for about 2 days. And it's like, oh, what do I do? And it's like, really need to get to installing that generator, don't I?
You had to spend time with your other half.
I know, it was weird. Well, actually, my other thirds, let's be direct with it. My other thirds, it was weird.
That's true.
Having both of them, because it's normally me or him, meaning it's either me, the invisible, or Techie Joe spending time together. But the three of us was like, what are we going to do? I'm like, yeah, it's card game night. Let's go. Because Techie is computer lived. Invisible lives in the virtual world. He is all into the virtual life. And I'm like working all the time. And and it's like bits and spots that you get to spend time together. But no, we were all, so that was kind of nice. Like that was a really fun thing. Of course, I beat them in cards, but what do we expect? I have a little bit of an unfair card advantage.
What they don't know about one of them.
Exactly. But it was really fun. It was very comfortable. But I had to like send out emails to the managers going, sorry, will not be on. Sorry, will not be on. Not sure when the service will be restored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they send you one back and say, well, when do you think an approximate time is?
Yeah. And it's like, this is West Virginia. Dial out when it went out like 10 years ago. We ain't seen it since. I think it went out to get cigarettes and was gone.
We missed that.
There are some sounds of our generation that I think that they should play for kids in kindergarten.
Yeah, yeah. That dial-up tone was a nightmare.
You know, I recently got a fax machine that called my cell phone. And it took me a minute to figure out what it was because I hadn't heard that sound in so long. And I was like, you have the wrong number, buddy. And I'm like, I'm not even sure my phone can accept a fax. Had to be a
See,
government one.
it's amazing.
It is. It is amazing the things that we have gone through as a generation. I mean,
Definitely.
I don't think, and I think that a lot of people, well, I'll be honest, I think a lot of people have problems trying to figure it out, trying to adapt,
Yes.
because we are not in that same plane, in that same ideaism, in that same world. I mean, and a lot of like, I'll give it to my mom. She has really like gotten on it. Um, you know, she was over here the other day, and she had it before she had TikTok before I did, and she was watching a live, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Watching a TikTok live," and I'm like, and she's like, "And when are you going to do them?" I'm like, "Mom, I don't have enough followers." She goes, "What do you mean you don't have enough followers?" I was like, "Are you following me?" No. Why? Are you not following your son? Because I see you everywhere else, like at home in real life. Normally, I'm there.
How many followers do you need to go live over there?
1,000.
It's only 800, you.
Really? Maybe I should VIP myself to Britain.
What I will do is, that medium that I was talking about last week that says the vile things?
Uh huh.
I will have to send you his name for you to watch him. You will be horrified.
That's fine, but you have to get that. You have to do that before the end of the month, because at the end of the month I have to go see my doctor, and I
Right,
really do
okay.
not want my blood pressure up then.
Okay. I'll do it tomorrow for you.
Okay. Um, but then they've had those people that act like Android, that act like NPCs or AIs or whatever, doing the little game things, which I think is cute, but it's like that's a little much.
Yeah.
However, there's another segment there that's gotten on my last nerve.
Go on.
I just need $100 to pay my phone bill. Someone send me a hundred
Oh,
dollars.
I'm having a bad day. Can somebody buy me a takeaway? And I'm like, I work for my money. You just sit there playing games on TikTok all day. Get and find a job. Stop begging.
I'm at the stop begging part, 'cause, in the US we see them at intersections, we see them, and if you do lives, like there's other lives, like we always talk about the bad lives.
Yes.
There's Taking Your Life Back 42. Love her live every morning. She's the one that's on Water Talk and,
Yeah.
dieting and has some really good food and coffee mixtures and all that. There, everybody has some level of knowledge of something someone else doesn't.
Yes.
Do a live about that. People will naturally tip you.
Yes. Yes. I don't like the lives. We've had a big thing over here this week where one lady had started talking to a man. She thought they were in a relationship together.
Okay.
He was saying to her, can you send me some money? I'll come and see you. Bearing in mind, they're about 500 miles apart. They're both
Okay.
in the UK. They'd never met.
Mm-hmm.
Altogether, she sent him £16,000, think,
$800.
thinking that they were in a relationship, and now we've left her for somebody else.
How can you leave her? He was never there.
No,
All right,
no.
let's talk about this. Okay, rules to long distance dating. Let's talk about this. I have one. If you can't break their kneecaps, you don't send them money.
No, no. You don't send the money point blank unless you're in a committed relationship
Mm-hmm.
where you live together and share the household bills. There's no reason to send money. They managed without you before, so why do they need your money now?
Exactly. But, you make a good point there. Committed relationship of some form. Because there are
Yes,
couples that, meet twice, three times a year. They're bi-coastal, bi-countral, and those are normal relationships.
yes,
And I could even see chipping in your household expenses, or hey, honey, I need a 20 this week. The paycheck was late, and I'm trying to
yeah,
pay for the plane ticket to go. Not buying the plane ticket for them to come unless
no,
it's a special
no,
event. The other side of that is different from Hazel and me, who work together. We
yeah,
talk every day, but we've never physically met.
no,
I would
no.
have no idea where to track her down at.
And I would, even though we speak together every day, I would have, how can I put it? I wouldn't say to you, oh, can you just send me £20 until payday? I wouldn't do it because that's not what you do.
Exactly. I'm not a loan shark.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. And on social media, you see it a lot. You see, do you have universes in Texas on TikTok over
Well,
your
I'm in West
side?
Virginia, but we do have universities here. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you always see that a female sends them to a man
Uh huh.
because they want that person to recognize them.
Uh huh.
So by sending a TikTok, a universe, because it's such a massive gift,
Uh
then
huh.
they get all the recognition. So of
Right.
course, then the creator recognizes the person,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you think about it, if somebody is paying £400 on this universe that you're going to send a stranger, the creator is automatically going to think, oh, that person got money. I'm going to become friends with that person.
Uh huh.
And that's where it all starts.
Well, that's where it starts, but and then you have the other side of it, which is the spiritual business side of it, which drives me crazy. So I follow many TikTokers online.
Yeah,
Opened up my TikTok the other day, killing time, and what do I see? Hello, Contrast. How are you? I'd like to give you a reading, please. And there's like 10 other ones that are like, your ancestors are calling to you. I don't accept. And I literally replied, I don't accept collect calls. Click. You know,
yeah, yeah,
because it's just for me funny, but our clients get pulled into this energy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And you'll always find mediums and psychics on TikTok. If they see me come into the room, then they'll say, oh, Hazel, we've got a message for you. All you need to do is donate. And I'm like, I'm not stupid. But if somebody is in that vulnerable state
Mm-hmm.
and they go into that room,
Yeah.
that's where they're going to pay the money because they think it's a genuine message.
Right. And I'm like, for me, it's like, sorry, if I want a reading, I'll call a professional. And I have A list, a B list, and a D list of
Yeah.
professionals that I can call. And it is not by the quality I have them broke down. I have them broke down by time zones.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not ringing Hazel at 10 o'clock in the morning. She'll throw something at me across the sea.
You would be told politely where to go.
you know, but it gets me, and it really, and we're talking about abusive relationships, and we're not just talking about love relationships.
No, no.
We're talking about online relationships. We're talking about friendships that are abusive, parental relationships that are abusive, and everyone talks about physical abuse, like if he puts you in the hospital. What if he empties your bank account?
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people forget about financial abuse
Yeah.
because once the financial abuse starts,
Uh-huh.
that's just the ball for the roller coaster of all the other abuse to follow.
Right. Well, it's part of all of the other abuse because it's the part to keep you there.
It's the controlling part.
Yeah. Because if you don't have your own money,
You can't
then
go anywhere.
you can't go anywhere. If you don't have access, if you don't have, and but that's the harder, like level 5 financial abuse. Let's go to
Yes.
level 1. Well, don't you think you spend a little bit too much on that top?
Yeah. Yeah. Or, oh, just lend us a fiver. I want to nip to the shop.
Yeah.
That fiver then turns into a tenner, then turns into 20 quid.
Uh-huh.
And some people don't see it as financial abuse,
Right.
but it is when those amounts get higher and higher and higher.
Well, even at the fiver, if you're paying for everything, if you're picking, and I'm saying that you're paying literally for everything, you
Yeah.
know, you're dating this person, and within a month, they're going, I need you to pay my phone bill.
Yeah.
I need you to pay my house bill. I need you to pay my water bill. I need $100. Just give me $100. You've got it,
Yeah.
you know. And there's no exchange of other energy. Meaning, someone says, lend me a fiver, fine. I need my car cleaned out.
Yeah.
That's an exchange of energy.
Yeah. Me and my son is hilarious in this house. He'll say, oh, mum, just lend me a tenner. I'm like, right, the grass needs cutting.
Right.
And that's the way he does it. He pays off what he
Uh-huh.
borrowed by doing jobs for me. And that's
Right.
my son.
Yeah. Like, you know, and there's a difference between living together in a relationship, in some form of living together, and you know, balancing the household budget.
Yes.
Yes. But my number one rule when you go to move into somebody is you have your own checking account that they don't have access to.
Yes.
You don't tie
Yes.
any of the household auto payments to it unless it's
No.
yours.
One thing I done when my oldest son and his partner moved in together, I
Hmm.
said, you keep your own bank accounts. You have one bank account that you both put into every month, the
Hmm.
same amount, and that's your bill account.
Yes. And your grocery account and whatever account it needs to be.
Yeah.
But you always, people really, I don't know, maybe it was just advice from the 50s that got stuck in my head. And now I wasn't alive. I just got a lot of it from my grandmother. You always keep your own money. You
Yes.
always keep your own, you keep, even if it's a coffee can, you keep hidden in the back of your closet and you throw a dollar
Yeah.
or two in it a day. You'll be surprised where that leads up to.
Yeah.
You always keep your own.
My nan always told me, just like yours, you need a rainy day fund.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I agree with that totally.
Right. And it has nothing to do, and people talk about, well, that's financial manipulation. No, it's not.
It's not.
No. And there is a lot of stories of people that have been stuck in a relationship where they are the stay at home. They don't have their own money. They get argued and fussed at. So, how do we get out of this? Well, this is how you get out of this. You're obviously doing all the grocery shopping. Okay? You get a $20 bill, or what is it, what does your ATM spit out?
I was 10 and 20s.
Okay, so a $20, you get a $20 cash back. It doesn't, he's not going to look at the grocery receipt. If he does, oh, I can't find it. I guess you just didn't give it to me. Um, and you stash that away.
Yes. Yes. You do yourself a little nest egg.
Uh-huh.
And my nan always used to tell me, now I don't carry cash because cash ain't the thing now.
Mm-hmm.
But my nan always made me keep £30 in the house in cash in case of emergencies.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go. I need that calculator again. Yeah, counting for inflation, that's about right.
Sorry, Doc. I wasn't being rude. I've only now flicked into the comments. And welcome.
Yeah, but yeah, $40 in the house, definitely.
Yeah.
Plus pocket change.
Yes.
Fill up your coffee cans.
And that's what you need to do, because people don't realize they're in a financial abusive relationship
Until
it's too late. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've seen people go and buy houses counting on 2 incomes, not married.
Yeah.
Buy the house, move into the house. Within 2 months, he's beating her ass.
Yeah.
And she is a powerful woman, so she gets him out of the house. Now what's she going to do?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. You're fine. Shannon's into a lot of our lives, and a lot of times the co-host can't even see the screen, so you're getting it.
Slowly, I am.
Yeah. Totally. But these are things you have to take stock in, and you really have to look at the relationship as if it is not your relationship, because
yes,
and you cannot let people take an inch, because an inch is the start of a mile. Oh, he
I
was just
agree
a bad
totally.
day. No,
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 no. He wasn't just having a bad day. Oh, he drank too much. Well, he's been
if it
drinking
happens,
for months.
if it happens once, it'll happen over and over and over. But every time it happens again, it gets worse.
Yep, because it's a chip
And
away.
because I'm speaking from personal experience,
Mm-hmm.
it gets worse and worse until finally it's like, am I going to live?
Am I going to put up with this?
Yeah.
Can I do this again?
Yeah.
And or in the bigger question, and Dan Savage has this quote: "Some things are a cost of admission. Is the admission too high? Your life, it's
Yeah.
too high." And
Yeah.
I'm not talking your physical being. I'm talking your for life.
Yes.
You need to quit your job. You need to do this. You need to do that. That's just them. That's them slowly trying to take over.
Don't talk to me about the Mercury retrograde. I'm ready to murder someone this week.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Already? It's only Monday.
Oh, I looked out of my bedroom window last night, seen the full moon, and thought, oh.
Yeah, we still got 23 days to the retrograde.
My moon is full already.
Uh-huh.
It's horrible.
Oh, what's going on now? Why is it horrible?
The energies are so strange. And that's the other thing you will see as well. Strange energies bring strange people.
Uh-huh, they do. That's that Pluto retrograde that no one talks about, that weird, you're looking at life and going, what the fuck am I doing? Why the hell am I doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not nice.
No, it's not. But no, we've got 23 more days to Mercury goes retrograde. Granted, all right, so 23 minus 14. We'll start seeing the effects on the 10th.
Oh.
Okay. That's what I thought. I was just like, I hope not. People aren't being worse than usual. So I think it's okay. Yeah. Oh, they're getting there. I promise you, this Mercury retrograde is going to be Dickhead City, because where it's hitting at.
Shannon
Um,
from the UK.
no, she's from the US.
Oh, that's one of my favourite words, you know.
Let me make sure that we're up at the right one. Yes. But no, currently, there's going to be 7 planets in retrograde in our orbit at the same time this time around.
It's going to be fireworks then.
Fireworks is going to be confusion because Venus, because during this time we have Venus in retrograde, so that's why all the weird relationships are going on till September the 4th, and then it's like brace your hats and decide if you like what you bought or not. We got Mercury going in retrograde on the 23rd, 24th, so I'm thinking this is an overnight thing depending on where you're at. Then we have Pluto in retrograde to October. Saturn's in retrograde, which is your weird behavior. Your taskmaster has lost the thing because he's in an emotional Pisces. We've got Neptune in retrograde, and join Saturn all the way through December. So Neptune being in retrograde, you're going to have to really keep balance, steer clear of overly
I think I'm doubling up on my HRT.
Yes, I think you might want to. When Neptune goes into retrograde, that's when like a lot of spiritual gifts open up.
Yeah.
But also when you like walk into a crystal store and walk out with half the store.
Yeah, stay away.
Yeah. Jupiter in retrograde starts on September the 5th. Now that one, that's going to hit your wallet. That's going to hit businesses. That's going to hit, it's in Taurus, which is your earthly energy. So that's money, work, and job. You might want to hang a boss out a window by then. Especially if you're a Taurus, that's serious.
Good job we don't work with our bosses. We'd have hung them out a long time ago.
No, I think there's a few I'd actually would have sat down and said, all right, this is how I roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't like it, I don't care.
Yeah. This is how I roll. I don't need babysitting. I've been doing this job for 20 years. So unless you've been in this business for 20 years and you know what it means when your extension is dead and you have to actually call the phone company to change your number so that the system will give you a new extension, only bring me marketing reports, bring me real data. I don't need the brace stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So August 29th, we also have Uranus. Oh, fun. Uranus retrograding in Taurus, also Taurus. Can we speak with our bosses? We need a code for our Taurus customers to go in effect on the 23rd of August. That gives them a special emergency rate.
I think we're going to have a crazy few months.
We are. And we're going to start seeing the shadows of people. That's always interesting.
Now, I see through my spirit guide, she already shows me shadows and that. Mm-hmm. But I had to say to her last week, don't show me that. I don't need to see that. Because this shadow was so freaky, it even freaked me out.
Really?
And I was like, I don't need to see it. Take it away. Go away. Leave me alone.
Right. And when I say shadow, what I'm talking about is the part of people they don't want that you don't show. Yeah. All right, let's take our break and we'll be right back.
Try psychic reading on your phone. Your first 3 minutes are free. First, choose a topic or method. Second, choose a psychic. Third, start a call or chat. The first 3 minutes are on us. Install Zodiac Psychics now. Talk to a gifted and trusted psychic advisor.
For so long, everything was difficult because I was allowing it to be and almost finding more comfort in that chaos.
My psychic advisor really helped me stop and take a breath and look within and be okay with what was happening right now.
Having that 24/7 access is amazing. Just a quick moment to get some clarity.
We are here on a journey and we can't always control it. All we can do is be along for the ride.
Welcome back. So, overall, I think our Tauruses, we will be available. We will get you through these retrogrades. It isn't as bad as the 9 that hit them in 2013, but it's going to be fun, people. Promise you it's going to be fun.
Don't use anything electrical.
Back up your data. But that's the time you begin cleaning computers and backing up your data, getting your car into the garage to make sure everything underneath the bonnet is fine, making sure that you get everything else organized and ready, and you start creating a calm area for you to go into your house and shut the door.
Yes.
Yes.
That's normally my bedroom.
It's normally my office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I will shut the office door and be like, nope. Like, even the
interest. I wonder, Shannon, have you got like a safe space you go to when you're having a wobble as such?
She'll probably pop in here and catch up. And I think it's important to have spaces in your home that is yours.
Yeah.
Like, in our home, our offices are our spaces. We are responsible for cleaning them. We are responsible for decorating them. We're responsible for putting everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the other thing is, you need that safe space. Safe space, I call it, because that's my space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has in her bedroom.
See?
Yeah. See? I think that's the thing, though, because you and her are both very caring and loving and mothering, but don't take any shit. So, I think that you guys got that, and I wonder if at your home, did you ever go into your mom's room?
Very rarely. Wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, that was her space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shannon, out of curiosity, what star sign are you?
I think she's my Virgo. Let me see if I remember correctly. I think she's Virgo.
Oh,
yeah.
She is a Virgo.
Uh-huh.
See, I'm a Scorpio.
I know.
So when I fly, I am like a raging dragon.
Very much so. Yeah. I've got that Aries Virgo trait, and I find it not surprising that you're a Scorpio. That's why we get along so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither of us take crap.
We don't, but we're also both got our own personalities and can respect the other's personality. We can have a discussion. We can even be on the opposite sides of the table and still be talking about the same thing in different areas.
Yes.
Those are things that should occur in relationships. There should be a debacle or a debate, and it should be a good one. All right, I gotta highlight this one.
I love it.
Yeah. The Kraken is loose, and they run away if they piss Shannon off.
Ooh.
But, in relationships, there are arguments. Arguments are debates. They are, they should be, and here's the should be, No, I think that we should go on with this. No, I think this. Well, this is the reason I believe this. This is the reason I believe that. Explaining and finding the middle ground.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That is an argument. Hitting, not an argument.
No.
Going off and downgrading somebody or insulting them, not an argument. That's abuse.
I have to explain to my clients from abroad, they call arguments fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to explain that fighting over here means literally fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Because I said, you could go to a reader and say, we are fighting, where straight away they won't ask for clarity. They just see it as the fisticuffs.
Right. And it's like, no, you don't do fisticuffs. Unless your partner is a boxing match.
Yeah.
And you're tag teaming, you don't do fisticuffs.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, let's say your partner's in a fight, in an argument, and they take off and they leave. That's good. That's controlling themselves and going, we ain't solving nothing here. Yeah. I'm going to back away. That's a healthy thing.
But if you think about it, when the kids are small, when they fight and argue, you always send one to a different room.
Uh-huh.
And I've always brought both my boys up to do that now.
Right.
And I don't know whether it's change of times or change of family life, but I brought my boys up saying to them, if you ever laid a finger on a female, I would break every bone in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think every male should be brought up to not hit the opposite sex.
I think everybody should be brought up not to hit the opposite person.
Yeah.
Don't matter, because, don't care what your binary, non-binary collection is and what chemical responses you have to another spiritual body.
Yeah.
You, unless it is in kink, and that's a whole different genre.
Yes.
And that's still under both agreement.
Yes.
What's going on? You do not lay your hands on somebody else.
And even with kink, you should have a stop word.
Safe word, yes.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That, again, is not what we're talking about. And what I mean by that is we're talking about there are some levels of control that people get into, and that's fine. That is different. The financial domination. That is not what we're talking about. No. We're not kink shaming. We're saying, and I don't know anybody in dom relationships that will put you at risk. If it's any good.
No. While we're on about relationships, what culture is it that can have more than one partner? No, there's a religion where they can have more than one wife.
That is, Islam has it. Islam has it.
Yeah,
some parts of Islam have it. Fundamental Mormons have it. Fundamental ordinated Jews have it.
Right.
Now and then Buddhists have their own debate on it. There are some tribes in Africa that actually have more than one husband.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the opposite. So, and that's, figuring out your dynamic, whether you prefer to have more than one partner. If you prefer, that's called polyamory or poly something another.
Yeah. I knew there was one religion close to home then that had multiple wives because it was allowed.
Well, and see, there's some dichotomy in that. And what I mean by that, and the meaning is there's some miscommunication. It's not that they're allowed Polyandry is the form in which a woman takes two or more husbands.
Right.
Polyamory is multiple partners or multiple relationships. And it is the Muslim countries that have it. They often saw the Quran verse 4-5. However, there's another part of that gets really misused. Okay, and here's what I mean by that: is they cherry pick that, but if they go down below it, but you have to be able to provide for them.
Yes. Yeah.
You cannot have like 20 wives if you can't pay your bills.
Yeah.
And the fundamentalists had the same role, which I find highly interesting. When you go digging into this, it's how many can you afford?
Yeah. Yeah. Because that always, I wouldn't say confuses me, but I do forget which culture that is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's the same as with arranged marriages.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, arranged marriages are quite interesting. Okay? That's the old form of marriage.
Yeah.
The original form of marriage. They've held on to that idea of, let's sit down and let's lay it out. She gonna have hers, I have mine. What are we paying each other? What are we going to get out of this business?
Yeah. Because as well as that, people always say to me, how can arranged marriages work? My answer to that is because you meet the person, you spend time together, living together, so it'll go one or two ways. You will either fall deeply in love with each other, or you'll become the world's worst enemies with each other.
But what I find interesting when looking at that culture is there's a lot of unhidden secrets that we see a lot of love marriages fall into.
Yes.
A lot of problems that let me lay out all the labels. Love, monogamy relationships fall into. That, you're good into a love relationship. You get all the way to the point of marriages. You marry them. You find out you instantly just took on $300,000 worth of debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, you've got an abusive mother-in-law, or you've got this and that. Whereas arranged marriages, all that's laid out on the table, and your parents or your
they are your negotiators.
Yeah, your negotiating team sets there and negotiate it out. I know one arranged couple in the UK. They're a fabulous couple. They were arranged in the 70s, so now they're going on 50 some years. It was very clear that her husband was to provide her so much income a month for her own uses. Very clear what was to be expected for her birthday. Very clear. And he has now gone and done a trust to continue the arrangement, including flowers on one of the holidays, to be delivered for like 10 years after he's gone.
Yeah.
They have a beautiful relationship. They have like 5 children because, they didn't do birth control because it's, not their thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But their negotiation team was really damn good.
Yeah. And I often get asked by clients from different cultures, will my marriage be an arranged marriage or one of love?
Right.
And that's a hard one to answer because an arranged marriage can grow into love.
And if it's done properly.
Yeah.
Now, here's the key word, properly. There's love in that marriage before it's closed. I mean, come on. You are courting while your negotiational team is negotiating everything out.
Yeah.
You're interviewing someone to be your husband.
Yeah.
And literally up into the second wedding, you can send him away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
My
you don't like it, you can send him away.
My friend's son is getting married in September, and they're an Indian family.
Uh-huh.
They're an Indian family, but how can I explain this? They live by today's rules. They don't follow the culture very much.
Right. They've Britanized.
Yeah. And they've got 3, and I was like, Jesus, how the hell? They
Uh-huh.
have 3 parties for their wedding.
Uh-huh.
They have one beforehand.
Uh-huh.
They have the ceremony itself, and then
Uh-huh.
they have like a reception the day after.
Yeah.
And I was like, geez. And she said, it goes on for days and days.
Uh-huh. If they went traditional, the wedding would be a week.
Yeah.
It's 7 days. It's 3 days beforehand where they're partying with their families, they're partying with their villages, whatever.
Yeah.
Then they have and that's when then you have the signing of the agreement.
Yeah.
Then you have the first wedding ceremony. Then you have a reception. Then you have a second ceremony. And then a year later, you have another ceremony.
It's crazy to think that that amount of money gets spent on a wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bloody hell. But then they go back to the old-fashioned tradition of when the son is married, he lives in her house with his wife, so they will still live in their mum's house.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, that's how it was for us in the UK years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you very rarely see that now.
Yeah. They normally get up and get moving. And, well, it's kind of like if you look at a traditional UK pagan wedding, like if they're going to do the full UK, the full traditional Wiccan wedding, that's a 4-day event there.
Yeah.
You know, and to be doing it multiple times because, depending on what belief system that they go by, weddings are gorgeous, but they've always been a business deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a real merger.
It's crazy how different cultures do different things.
Yeah.
But it's also very interesting as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that it's not only interesting, but it's more important to look at the why.
Yes. Yeah.
Example, the fundamental Mormons, they're still holding on to the polygamy because originally it was because they had a lot of women and children that had no provider.
Yes.
And that's when they went, oh, well, Sam, they went back to the Bible. And if you read Christian doctrine, notice I said doctrine. There's a difference between belief and doctrine. You read their doctrine. They can have up to 7 wives as long as they can afford them. Practice, however, is not done. Solomon had 500, and I am like, I don't want to see that Google Calendar.
Now, I don't know if you get it over there, but we get it a lot over here. Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons.
We get the Mormons.
They will knock our doors and ask us if we want to join them.
Well, okay. We get the Mormons once in a while. The Jehovah's Witnesses, however, avoid my address because there was a little incident in North Carolina, and since then they've never come to my house.
They've never come to my house since my mum died, and they knocked the following day.
Uh-huh.
That was the worst thing they ever done. I chased them up that driveway, and I was going mad.
Oh, I bet. Well, see, okay, my life before being professional psychic, I also worked bartending in bars and other things in bars. So that means I'm getting home 4 or 5 in the morning. My partner also worked at the bar. He's getting home 4 or 5 in the morning. For a freaking month, they knocked on the door like 8 o'clock in the morning.
There's no need for it.
There isn't. And their religion has their own problems, but, we'll not debate that today. So, there are police knocking on the door, not this little, boom, boom, boom.
Like the bailiffs are there.
Yeah. Okay. So my partner at the time says, go answer the door. Throw your robe on, go answer the door. Invite them in this time and give me about 15 minutes. Just talk them up. And so I do that, and the other room had smoke machines and equipment and that type of thing. He went into the other bedroom and turned all that on. We're sitting there talking, one of my questions, because I know their scriptures, because, oh yeah, I'm master in spiritual metaphysical sciences. So which number are you? There's only 444. Debating this, and all of a sudden I hear the bedroom door fly open, and he's like, honey, hurry up, come here. I don't think I can control this one. And he had filled that smoke machine up, and it was just pouring out of the room. They ran the hell out of there. I hadn't seen them since. And they haven't visited anywhere I live, because I've moved 4 times. Never seen them. Mormon boys love having them come over. They some of them are good cooks.
You're blacklisted.
I probably am. Okay, you can read Shannon's one.
Oh, Jesus. You poor hubby, Shannon.
Yeah.
I bet you do feel sorry for him.
Yeah, apparently Shannon's traumatized the Jehovah's Witnesses too much. She was told that she's not allowed to anymore. And, if it was an actual real debate, I would love to engage with these people.
Yeah.
Okay? But unfortunately, they don't, the people they send to your door don't know their own scriptures, and that's a problem for me.
Yeah.
Because, one, according to the original prophecy, they should have already been gone. The 444 of them should have already left. Our taxes should have went down. I should have been able to buy a few more houses, that type of thing, because they left. But, looking at religious faith, it has a lot of influence on relationships.
Over here,
Uh-huh.
they still teach religious education in schools.
But do they teach all of them?
They are not allowed to teach Jehovah's Witnesses it.
Right. Well, and I don't think they're allowed to teach Scientology, because didn't they condemn that as a cult and strip them away, or was that Norway?
That was Norway.
Okay, yeah, Norway, and that one's a wild one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's an abusive cult. I'm sorry. I try to draw a line, but that one's an abusive cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. But no, I love that, do I think religion should be taught in schools? Yes, but I think you've got a lot of teaching to do there.
Yes. Do I agree with religious education in school? Not the way they're teaching it.
Yeah.
Not the way they're teaching it at all. Right. And teachers are very judgmental as well. I personally, this is how it goes over here in high schools. Okay. The kids have 2 corridors. Mm-hmm. One for the English children.
Uh-huh.
And one for the foreign children.
Uh-huh.
The foreign children are called ASL students.
Okay.
The English children have to go to these lessons.
Uh-huh.
The ASL children don't.
What do they study?
They just sit in a classroom and chat.
Oh, that would be terrible.
So to me, they're teaching religious education in the wrong way.
Well, I think that, see, and this is the problem. I think if they're going to teach religious education, they've got to teach the whole mountain of
Yes.
religious education. And see,
Yeah.
this was part of my training that I think is very important. And this is why I know so much about different religions and can see all the viewpoints. It's because I had to learn Buddhism, I had to learn Hinduism, some forms. I'm not fluent in all of them. I'm sorry. There's only like 1,000 of them there. Catch me up. Different branches of Christianity, different branches of Judaism, including traditional Judaism, which is a beautiful religion. Islam, which I have great respect for, and I really like the Quranic text because it's a great chronicle of human history. But the practices are like, you guys got to work on that one.
Yeah.
You know, like name the faith. I literally can probably quote which God you're working with. And, look at your altar and we can figure out exactly, but there's so many commonalities there. But what I do not like, and I've never liked, is when someone uses religion as an abusive tactic.
Yes. In my street, I have a Chinese family living next door.
Taoist or Buddhist?
I think they're Buddhist.
Okay.
Further down the street, we've got Portuguese family.
Ooh, Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can say now, I was dealing with a Chinese client that I couldn't understand what she was trying to explain. I couldn't understand what she meant.
Mm-hmm.
So I went next door and I asked them.
Uh-huh.
And their little girl who's 5 translated what the parents said and told me.
Uh-huh.
So that I could understand it more.
Yeah.
And the Portuguese people, they are so lovely. They invite us round for dinner. They ask us if we want to go round for Christmas.
Right. And, the Portuguese family is very community-based. The Taoist family is very community-based. You will find that these Subgrenian religions, and what I mean by Subgrenian is they have a Pacific culture that is built into that religion.
Yes.
Is very community-based. Wiccans are very community-based. New Age is mostly community-based. Now, we got our own problems, but we're mostly community-based.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is so much a big part of something. But then to turn it around and to start using it against people, no.
Yeah. Well, when the Chinese family moved in, it was just before Christmas last year.
Uh-huh.
So I took the little girl Christmas presents, as I do, because I'm soft, and I had to explain to the family what it meant.
Uh-huh.
And they were so impressed that I explained to them, this is the way it goes. Right. This is what the holiday is for, because they are both, I think he's a social worker.
Uh-huh.
And she's a surgeon.
Oh, nice.
So they're a nice family to get to know in case I need any emergencies,
Right. If we need to repair a limb or, plan out retirement. But, your block is so lovely. Like, I'm sorry, we've talked extensively about it. I'm sure you've got one old man somewhere or old woman that's like, get off my grass. But even that, it has a lovely energy to it. This one's regrowing. We're starting to get used to it. Because I moved into an older neighborhood and I was the youngest couple. Now it's like I'm on the other end of that stick.
Yeah.
But what gets me is when someone says, well, you can't leave him because it's against your religion. And no religion, I don't care what the religion is, if you read the doctrine, every one of them has the ability and the discernment that says if they are not of your best interest, to leave. Or to, go to your religious leader and say, this is what he's doing. Now, you either go fix him or release me.
I had a client, and she
Mhm.
was a regular client, and
Mhm.
he was, hammering her.
Uh-huh.
She'd end up going to hospital. She wouldn't press charges.
Mhm.
And one day she said to me, am I ever going to get out of this situation? And
Mhm.
my answer to her was, and it breaks my heart to this day, if you don't get out of this situation now, you will be leaving that situation in a wooden box.
Right.
And she said, but what will my family think? I said,
Mhm.
what would your family think if they were standing by your graveside?
Right.
Think about which one they would prefer.
Right. All right. So we're going to throw this out there. It is an SMMS. It's text start to 88788. That is international. And we are looking at international 211. And what is your US just got 211. What is yours?
911.
No, not the emergency number. The service number, like, what services is in your area.
We have so many, but if you
Uh-huh.
call the local police board, they
Mm-hmm.
will put you through to the direct number,
Okay.
because our police force actually have a domestic violence unit.
Right.
So they deal with everything and then put you in a woman's refuge.
Right. To get you moving,
Yeah, away from that situation.
right. And okay, so apparently it is also over 200 others. Okay. So yeah, UK is 800-799-7233. I don't care if they're your soulmate or your twin flame or anything else. That's not right. Get out.
No, it's not. It's
No.
not. If you have a hand raised to you by a partner, a
Mhm.
child, because children do it.
2-year-old you got to watch for, but this is helping.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Now we got a different one over here.
Okay.
We use that one.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, because of what we do, we can tell straight away just from the eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody don't look you in the eye and they are walking with their partner and their
Mhm.
head is down constantly, that's massive alarm bells.
Yes. Yes. But so check out those numbers if you need them. There's always help, and your life will get better. But you've got to make the hard step. Now I'm going to do the devil advocate thing here. On average, for a domestic violence partner to leave, they leave 7 times.
Yeah.
So if you're in that mess and you're being the rescuer, that Knight of Swords rushing into it, count your times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's
And
hard.
the one
It's
thing,
absolutely hard.
the one thing to remember is there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
You may not think it at that time, but there is. There's plenty of organizations all over the world that will help you.
Yes. And
You know,
any religious leader worth their salt will help you to,
definitely.
even, the religions that are hard on divorce, the Catholics, some Hindus, the Islams, all of them have, if he isn't honoring you, out he goes. If he isn't
Yeah.
honoring her, out he goes. So, talk to your faith leaders too.
Just remember, your life is worth a lot more than the person that's abusing you.
Exactly. All right, guys, we will be back next Monday. What are we talking about, Miss Hazel?
Next Monday, we haven't got nothing down.
Oh, I know what we're talking about then.
Go on.
Let's talk about the connection to astrology.
And that'll be a new one for me, because I don't do astrology.
Right. But you
I've
deal
got-
with it.
I deal with it, but I don't work directly with it, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
And I've got something for Shannon to think about. Should we throw it out to Shannon on what we should speak on the week after?
I'd love for her to give us an idea.
Come on, Shannon, you got some homework to do. And remember, nothing is random for us. We've heard it all before.
Once or twice or 300 times.
So that's Shannon's homework for next week. She can tell us next week what we're working on the week after.
It sounds lovely. And I'll be on all the networks. You'll be on all your networks.
I will.
All week long, you can arrange calls with us. And we will see you next Monday at 5 p.m. EST and 10 p.m. BST.
Definitely.
All right, y'all. You guys have a great evening. Bye.
Bye.